Good morning, everyone. Here's story time, so make yourself comfortable and get ready. Rosie Sprouts, time to shine. I think that might be Rosie. And the story is written by Alison Wartja, and the illustrations are by Patricia Barton. Rosie Sprouts, time to shine. Violet was the very best. Everybody agreed. Violet could run the fastest in gym class, and she sang the highest in choir practice. Violet was the loudest storyteller at lunchtime, and she looked the fanciest on picture day. Violet was definitely the best, and everyone agreed, except Rosie. Rosie was not a fast runner. Rosie could not sing very high, and she was not the loudest storyteller. And she did not get very fancy for picture day. But Rosie was tired about hearing of Violet being the best. One morning, Miss Willis told the class they would each grow their own pea plants in little pots on the windowsill in the back of the classroom. Everyone was excited. Violet was the most excited. Her plant would definitely be the tallest. After all, she was the best at everything. For homework, the students had to decorate their pots. Plants like nice places to grow, Miss Willis said. Violet's pot was the sparkliest. Rosie's wasn't, but it still seemed like a nice place to grow. As Miss Willis helped the students put soil into their pots, she said, "What do seeds need to make healthy plants?" "Air," they said, "soil, water, sunlight." Miss Willis was impressed. "What good gardeners you all are." Rosie made a hole in the soil with her finger. She dropped in a little seed, and she carefully covered it up. Days went by and everyone waited. They watered their pots, but nothing happened. Even Violet's plant isn't growing. Well, when it does, it'll probably be the best. Yeah, probably. Peas are gross. We should have planted watermelons. My sister's into kumquats. Then one afternoon, Rosie noticed a green dot poking through her soil. There was a tip of green in Violet's pot, too. Rosie couldn't wait to show Miss Willis. But Violet, who was the fastest, yelled, "Mine is the first to grow, hooray!" The next morning, Rosie got to school early to check on her plant. She was very proud of it. But Violet's plant was a little bigger. It figures, Rosie thought. She looked over her shoulder. No one was there yet except Miss Willis, who was writing vocabulary words on the chalkboard. Quickly, Rosie pushed the soil on top of Violet's plant. Then she thought, "Now my plant is the best." Rosie felt like the best for a few seconds, but then she started to feel bad. She started to feel guilty. But the bell rang and she knew it was too late to fix things. When everyone was seated, Rosie noticed that Violet wasn't there. "Good morning, class. I wanted to let you know that Violet has the chicken pox and she won't be back to school for a while." Rosie slinked down in her chair. She'd started out feeling bad for Violet's plant. Now she was feeling bad for Violet too. Just a little, and Rosie knew what she had to do. For 2 weeks, Rosie came to school early, and she took care of 2 plants. She gently shook the soil she'd pushed on top of Violet's little sprout. She watered her plant, but she watered Violet's too. She sang quiet little songs about growing to her plant, and then she sang quiet little songs to Violet's. She made sure they both had bright sunlight. Mrs. Willis was very pleased. "I believe you're the best gardener I've ever had, Rosie." "Yes, definitely the best," and Rosie beamed. When Violet finally returned to school, everyone crowded around her to hear about her chicken pox. "I ate mint ice cream and watched TV, and my mom bought me a new shirt, And a new bracelet and 3 pencils, shouted Violet. My doctor told me I had the worst case of chicken pox he'd ever seen. It wasn't long before Violet remembered about her pea plant. When she skipped to the back of the classroom, everyone followed. My plant is the tallest, hooray, Violet exclaimed. And then she noticed the one next to hers. Whose is that? That's Rosie's. She's been taking care of both plants. Miss Willis told the class. Everyone agreed. Violet and Rosie's plants were the tallest. Thanks, Rosie, Violet said very quietly. Well, she said much louder as everyone went back to the seats. Mine's still the sparkliest. Miss Willis looked at Rosie, and Rosie looked at Miss Willis, and they smiled. I think Rosie learned to be the best gardener ever. Well, bye everyone. Hope you enjoyed this story.